What's up, Saul? What's up, Saul, Andrew? What's up, brother? What's up, Angel? All right, everybody. I just want to let you guys know I got D Jefferson, longtime subscriber. D Jefferson on the line, longtime subscriber. We're going to get into it. And,
All right.
D's going to get his point of view across. I'm going to get mine across. D, what's the first topic you want to dig into that you have a lot of issues with? Is it Canelo? Is it Mikey? What topics do you want to start off with the debate, brother?
Well, first let's start off with this Mikey Spence thing.
Okay.
All right. So first, I'm just going to give you my stance on this. Okay. Mikey Garcia. I've been a long time fan of Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia is an elite boxer. I do not deny that. Mikey Garcia does have a chance to win. I've never said he doesn't have a chance to win. What I'm saying is Mikey Garcia has a slim chance to win. That's where you and I disagree.
Okay.
You see? I agree with Mikey Garcia, Robert Garcia, and Big G. Because they see that Errol Spence has these skills that you don't think Errol Spence has. Okay? And because Errol Spence is that much bigger and that much stronger than Mikey Garcia, and he does have skills, he's going to win that fight.
Okay. Now,
Okay.
Let me kind of retort that a little bit. Now, you said that you agree with Mikey Garcia, Robert Garcia, Big G, that Errol Spence Jr. has skills to beat Mikey, and that Errol Spence Jr. Mikey has a slim chance to beat Errol Spence Jr. from their perspective as well.
No. My perspective is that he has a slim chance. I'm agreeing with them that that Errol Spence possesses the skills that you claim he doesn't possess. You understand? Because if Mikey says he's just about a mirror image of him, but you say that Errol Spence can't do all of these things, that's what I'm saying. I agree with the three of those guys that Errol Spence can do these things.
Okay.
Mikey believes he can win because he's that much better at it, but I don't agree with that, bro. I think that Errol Spence is just too big for that.
Okay.
Too strong and too aggressive.
Okay, I respect that. Now, let me ask you this. I just want to get you on record. So I got it on record as it's a 50-50 fight. So
Right.
what's your percentage on this fight?
So I don't have 50-50. I actually have 70-30.
70-30.
I have 70-30. I have a 70-30 fight.
Okay.
And the 30%, I will explain. That's the 30% chance that Mikey can win because he's so highly skilled, because his IQ is so high, and because he's proven that he can overcome before. He's done that time and time again.
Okay.
So I give him that credit. And I've been watching Mikey for a long time. I give him that credit. That's where the 30% chance comes from. But I just got to lean towards Spence, man.
Okay.
I just have to lean towards Spence.
Okay, and I respect that. And, I know he knows his sport. Peter Quillen, step cousin, is listening. So is there anything on his debate that you wanted to kind of speak on from his perspective?
Well, see, now, and I'm glad that he'll be joining us later, too. Now, This is where my 30% chance has kicks in. Because he and I went at this before a couple of times. I'm not with this whole fifth round, TKO, book it, and I understand that's how he feels, and I'm not with that. I do see, if there's a stoppage, I do see it as being a late stoppage, okay?
No, that's respect.
Tenth round or later, maybe, if that is to happen, okay? This whole Errol Spence is going to walk through Mikey, I don't see that happening.
Okay. So
I just don't see that happening.
So you're kind of in the middle between both of our perspectives a little bit.
Well, see, the thing is, and I've said it 100 times on here, I've only typed it. I've not said it, but I'm saying it. I'm a long-term fan of Mikey Garcia. I'm a fan of Spence as well. But, I'm one of the ones that believe Mikey's amazing, bro. He's the man. Don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying he bit off more than he can chew this time. Like, because I'm also a believer of Spence. You know, I'm like, he's the man as well. And when I look at these two guys, I just think that, you know, Mikey just I don't know, man. I just think he stepped up just a little bit too much this time.
Okay, D. Now, I appreciate that. Now it's my turn to kind of respond a little bit. Now, I respectfully disagree. And this is why I respectfully disagree. And this is why I believe that this is going to be a 50-50 fight. Now, you know, the Peter Quillins of the world, the guys that's saying that, that they know their sport. This proves that they don't know their sport. Is because not to give Mikey the credit, and to say that he can't do what Chris Algieri did, and by going, past 5 rounds, that's ridiculous to me. And that's because, just like, he knows his sport states he's too big. This makes sense to me because now, at the end of the day, size is not everything in boxing. Size is not everything.
No.
It's not about how big your muscles are. It comes down to IQ. It comes down to timing. It comes down to footwork. It comes down to everything. And so Mikey Garcia checks more of those boxes than Errol Spence Jr. Now, to your point of what you said, that Mikey said, he believes Errol Spence is a mirror image of him, but he believes everything that he does is a little bit better than Errol Spence Jr. I've heard that. But you've also heard many, many times that even Errol Spence Jr. has admitted that Mikey Garcia has a legitimate chance to defeat him. He stated that out of his own mouth. So for a guy to come out and say, Mikey has no chance, not you personally, but like, Peter Quillin, that's a problem. And then, where do you rank Mikey's skill set versus Errol Spence Jr.? Because do you think, who's the more skilled fighter, Mikey or Spence?
Well, see, that's the thing. With me, it's easy. Okay, that's easy. I don't have any problem saying that Mikey is the more, higher skilled fighter. I do believe Mikey is the higher skilled fighter. I agree that, Mikey is elite. I think that a lot of the Spence fans are underestimating the things that Mikey does, and the way he thinks in the ring. I don't think that they're recognizing that about Mikey.
Now,
so if you ask me the question of who's the more skilled fighter, I'm going to go with Mikey all day.
Okay.
Simply because I've watched Mikey longer, and he showed me that he's the more skilled fighter.
Would you say,
this is like I didn't mean to cut you off, but this is like something it's a question mark. We're hearing Spence says that he has more in the bag, and we believe he's potentially, but I haven't seen it. I've only seen Mikey perform at a higher level than I've seen Spence. So I have to go with Mikey has the higher skill level.
Okay, so we both agree that Mikey Garcia has a higher skill level than Errol Spence Jr. We both agree to that. Do you believe that Errol Spence Jr. has been in against elite level competition?
I believe, no.
Okay.
No. I think that I think that he's been in with good and high level competition. I do think that you discredit some people that I think are higher level competition than you give them credit for.
Okay, give me a name.
Elite, I can't say elite.
Okay, well give me a name. Give me a name.
Well, I'll give you a few names. Okay. I think that Kell Brook, is has a higher level of competition than you gave him credit for, and I'll explain that. I also think Lamont Peterson had a higher level of skill than you gave him credit for. I do agree with you somewhat on the game plan, somewhat. And then, here's an underrated guy, Algieri. Now I'm not saying he's a high level opponent, but I don't think that you gave him the credit he deserved. Now let me go back to Brooke, and I'll tell you why. I'll explain.
Hold on.
I said this.
Hold on 1 second, brother, because now
okay.
I just got to clear up this one thing on Chris Algieri, and you're my brother, but I got to do it. I got to do it. And you said underrated.
Now remember, I did not say high level. I just say you don't give him credit. I didn't say high level with Algieri. Okay.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. Now I gotta destroy Chris Algieri, and the fact that a lot of these Spence fans come out and say that Chris Algieri's underrated. He's not getting the respect he deserves and all this. At the end of the day, Chris Algieri is a glorified tomato can. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest and unbiased. He's a glorified tomato can. Mikey Garcia, in my opinion, Mikey Garcia would stop Chris Algieri, and if he didn't stop Chris Algieri, he would pretty much wash him through 12 rounds, win every single round if he didn't stop him. And that's period. There's not even close to mention the skill level between Chris Algieri and Mikey Garcia. And so I think that Errol Spence Jr. has stepped in the ring with competition that have been very well overrated. So let's go through Chris Algieri. Now, the last time we seen Chris Algieri, he fought Daniel Gonzalez on January 18th on a DAZN card. He won a 10-round unanimous decision, but he kind of got beat up in that fight against lower level competition. This is what I'm saying. That's not a guy that's fighting at a high level. That's not a guy that's winning great fights or matches. You know, what's his best win? What's Chris Algieri's best win? And if you say Provodnikov, that's a problem because he's already lost 5 times. This is what I'm saying.
This is the thing. This is what I'm saying to you. This is what I'm saying to you about Chris Algieri. Tomato can, bro? Really? Tomato can?
Tomato can, yes.
See, this is the thing. He's not a tomato can.
How?
He's not a tomato
How?
can. He's not
How?
He's not an elite boxer. He's not an elite boxer, but he's not a tomato can, bro.
Okay,
Bro,
how?
Listen, I'm not even gonna use because
Give me
well,
one solid win he has.
Name me. Oh, you know, like the people that beat him, right? How did they beat him?
Okay, Errol Spence Jr. stopped him. Amir Khan won.
We're not talking about Spence. We're not talking about Spence.
Okay.
Because Spence is the debate.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm talking about the people that did beat him.
Okay.
How did they beat him? Let's talk about it.
Okay, Amir Khan won a 12-round unanimous decision, dominated the fight. Hold on, 12 rounds and dominated the fight. Manny Pacquiao won a 12-round unanimous decision, dominated the fight, dropped him multiple times in that fight. And this is an old Manny Pacquiao out of his prime. Amir Khan's not known for his punching power, so you can't expect him to get the stoppage. Manny Pacquiao, he's older and he dropped him many times. Come on.
Okay.
Come on.
Now, my turn, right? My turn, right?
Go for
Amir
it.
Khan. Okay, Amir Khan, when he fought him. Amir Khan, come on, bro. Amir Khan, you said won every round? That's inaccurate, bro. He didn't.
Okay, how many rounds did Chris Algieri win?
I only gave him like 3 or 4, but my point is...
Okay, 3 or 4.
Amir Khan.
So think about it.
This is my point. This is my point. We're talking about Amir Khan versus Algieri. So what I'm saying is Algieri was supposed to lose. Algieri was supposed to lose to Pacquiao.
Okay, so who can Algieri beat? Name me a solid win. Give me a solid win. Make me believe in Chris Algieri. You're making a case for he's a good fighter. Tell me who he beat. Tell me what's his name?
I didn't say he was a good fighter. I started off saying I said he was not a complete tomato can.
So
he's leave Chris Algieri alone because my only point really was about Chris Algieri. The only point that I really was going to make about Chris Algieri is that he didn't just stand there like you usually say. He tried to move, but Spence didn't allow him to. That was the only point that I was really going to bring up about Chris Algieri because you said people always just usually stand right in there in front of Spence and let him hit him. And Chris Algieri was not that type of fighter. Remember, styles make fights. He was the type of fighter to move around. And that was the point that I was going to make. And then we went off into all of this who Chris Algieri
Okay. Okay. Then we'll go off that and then we'll address that. Chris Algieri looked terrible in the fight against Errol Spence, and it wasn't because anything Errol
did look terrible.
And it wasn't because of anything that Errol Spence Jr. did. It was because of the fact
That's why I disagree.
Hold on. Let me explain my point. It's because Chris Algieri was not doing what he was supposed to do. He was not moving as he was supposed to. He sat on the ropes and tried to slug it out with Errol Spence Jr. multiple times. You can't explain why your corner would tell you to do that. You can't explain why he was standing in the middle of the ring and try to trade shots with Errol Spence Jr. too many times. He's not the type of fighter to do that. That's not his game plan against a much stronger fighter. That makes no sense. So Chris Algieri has a low ring IQ, used no lateral movement. He had already been beat multiple times, and he'd already been hurt in a previous fight by being dropped by Manny Pacquiao. He's a glorified tomato can. Name the next name. Chris Algieri's done.
Okay.
He's done.
Okay, Chris Algieri is done. I'm not even going to go there. Like I said, we disagree. He did not stand there, bro. Matter of fact, I'm going to respond to that.
Hold on, one second, D. One second.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. 1 second. Shout out to Sam Hernandez in the Soldier Boy voice. Chris Algieri? Yes. Thank you. Please, D. Let's go get another name. Give me another name on the resume of Spence.
Yeah. Let's leave Chris Algieri alone because again, my point wasn't that he was great or anything like that. My point was that he didn't just stand there. But okay. Anyhow, let's move forward to Lamont Peterson and Kell Brook because those are really his main two fights. Those are Spence's main two fights. Okay, and I'm not gonna go into this really deep because again, I'm a fan of both guys. So let's keep this in perspective. I'll wait for he knows to get on here for all of the ridiculous shit. Okay, pardon my French, but anyway, so with the Lamont Peterson, listen, man, put some respect on this guy's name, bro. Okay, because I don't care. I used to be an athlete. I think I told you that before. Okay. I do not care what you say about it. If someone wins a title, all championships are valid, bro. Athletes, this is what we consider. This is like a rule with that. All championships are valid, bro. Sometimes there's bullshit involved. Pardon my French again. Bad calls. The Pittsburgh Steelers got. We can go on and on about the bad calls and how they won titles. Sometimes that happens, but titles are valid. Okay. You cannot just call Lamont Peterson a C-level fighter. What you need to do is recognize that some of these guys may have had a game plan. Some of these guys may have wanted to execute a game plan, but Spence did not allow that. The body pressure did not allow that. They got what they did not expect. They thought they expected to be able to do something, and they weren't able to do that because of what Spence did. Okay. But you can't just make these guys tomato cans, which I'm talking about Lamont Peterson because...
Now, let me preach on this. Lamont Peterson is not...
Go ahead.
Lamont Peterson is not a tomato can. Now, I'm not going to call Lamont Peterson a tomato can, but he's not a high-level fighter. He's a C-level fighter. That's what Lamont Peterson is. He's a C-level fighter.
We disagree there.
Okay, and so what... And hold on, 1 second.
We disagree there.
Okay, that's fine. We can disagree, and that's okay. What level is Lamont Peterson? A, B, C. What level is Lamont Peterson?
Okay, now I don't consider an A-level fighter an elite fighter, so let's make that understanding clear. But I do consider Lamont Peterson an A-level fighter.
That's ridiculous, bro. That's ridiculous. How in the hell is Lamont Peterson an A-level fighter?
How is he not?
Okay. Let me break this down.
Yeah, break it down. Please break this one down.
Okay, let me break this down because this is hilarious. Lamont Peterson lost a 12-round unanimous decision to Tim Bradley. He got stopped in the hold on. Let me finish. And Tim Bradley has already been exposed. But let's keep going.
Yeah, let's keep going with Peterson.
So he already lost to Tim Bradley. And then he got stopped in the third round by Lucas Matisse. So Lucas Matisse stopped him in the third round, exposed his chin. Then he lost to Danny Garcia. But I will tell you, in the loss to Danny Garcia, that was probably one of the best fights that I'll give Lamont Peterson that he showed up in.
Thank you.
Hold on, because I have to be unbiased, and I'll tell you this: the reason why that was a good fight with Danny Garcia is because Lamont Peterson boxed and moved that fight. He showed different skills, an array of skills, and I wouldn't have even been mad if they would have gave him the decision in that fight. I wouldn't have been mad at that. But the fact that Lucas Matisse stopped you in the third round, the fact that you didn't come to box with a great game plan in that fight, the same way you lost to Tim Bradley Jr., these are losses that are unacceptable. You got to expect more from a Lamont Peterson if you're going to be rated an A-level fighter. Lamont Peterson has been stopped twice in his career. He has 4 losses and 1 draw. You are not an A-level fighter. I'm sorry. He has no elite level wins. He just does not deserve to be called an A-level fighter.
I didn't say he was elite. I didn't say he was elite. I just said that. I didn't never say he was elite. But
no. Is he in an A-level? But you said he was an A-level. Hold on.
An elite A-level.
I understand.
He's a B-level fighter.
You said he's an A-level fighter, so you're saying that he's a B-level fighter.
If you consider an A-level fighter elite, then I'll say he's a B-level fighter. I'm not saying he's an elite fighter, bro.
An A-level has to at least be a very good fighter if it's not elite. And Lamont Peterson is not a very good fighter. Lamont Peterson is not a very good fighter. He's lost too many times and he's been stopped twice. He's not a very good fighter.
Listen, his only bad loss was a fucking Come on, man. Anybody can get knocked out, bro. Anybody can get clipped. That Lucas Matisse was his only bad loss, period, bro. Hands down. Other than that, he won everything, and look at the names that he lost to. You gotta be kidding me, bro. Timothy Bradley was a champion. He didn't lose to no bum. He lost to a champion. Second, Danny Garcia is a solid fighter. Probably has the best resume in the 147 division. That's not a bum. And he took him 12 rounds. And then he lost to Errol Spence, which we don't agree on that kid is great, okay? This is the problem that I have with you. You cannot label this guy a tomato can, okay? Anybody can get clipped. Anybody. Now, you know this, Luke. That was his only bad loss was to Matisse. He got clipped, bro. I will give you that. That was horrible.
Okay, so and I respect you, D, but now I got to expose you. And this time I'm exposing.
Okay, expose me.
So let's go back to Tim Bradley Jr. You say, Tim Bradley's not a bad loss. Tim Bradley was never an elite level fighter. Tim Bradley has lost 2 times in his career, both to Manny Pacquiao. But honestly, he really lost 3 times to Manny Pacquiao. I never thought that Tim Bradley ever beat Manny Pacquiao. And if you look, and hold on, and then if you look at hold on, and then here's another thing. Look at the other names on Tim Bradley's resume. This guy, and his best wins were against Brandon Rios and Jesse Vargas. We know who those guys are. Those guys are. He won a split decision against Juan Manuel Marquez. So that's probably his best win of his career. And I discredit that to some degree because this wasn't the same Marquez. So at the end of the day, if we're going to be honest and unbiased, Tim Bradley was never an elite fighter. So the fact that Lamont lost to a guy that was never elite shows you where he's at. This guy's not an A-level fighter. He's not a B-level fighter. He's a C-level fighter. Let's move on to Kell Brook. Let's move on to Kell Brook.
Tim Bradley was a champion. Again, all championships are valid, bro.
No, I'm not saying championships are invalid.
His only losses was to Manny Pacquiao. You cannot continue to try to discredit other people's achievements just to prove your point.
Because he never. Hold on, dude. Let me say this. He only lost to Manny Pacquiao because he never fought anybody but Manny Pacquiao that was at a decent level of fighter. Because he was fighting Jesse Vargas. You're fighting Jesse Vargas. Jesse Vargas.
No. Is Manny Pacquiao great or not? Is Manny Pacquiao going to go down as one of the greatest boxers ever or not?
Absolutely.
Facts or not?
Absolutely.
Facts or not?
Absolutely.
So 3 losses to that man does not say bad. Period, bro. Stop it.
So hold on. But you know who else? Hold on. You know who else lost to Manny Pacquiao? Who else lost to Manny Pacquiao? Hold on. Chris Algieri lost to Manny Pacquiao. So everybody that loses to Manny Pacquiao is a top fiiter?
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that's not a bad loss on your record, Nuke. This is one of the greatest. When you say you say this yourself, how can somebody claim that Canelo lost to the greatest fighter, Floyd Mayweather? And I agree with that. But when somebody takes a loss to the great Manny Pacquiao, bro, don't even mention it. Why are you even mentioning that?
Well,
who the fuck didn't lose to the great Manny Pacquiao? Hold on. Think about what you're saying, bro.
Hold on. Here's another thing. Timothy Bradley has never been an elite fighter. He doesn't have any elite wins.
I didn't say he was elite.
Hold on. So I'm not saying you did, but I just want to clear this up. So he never lost to an elite fighter. I mean, he never beat an elite fighter, and he lost to a guy who wasn't elite. So at the end of the day, he cannot be ranked as an A-level fighter, period.
He lost to an ex-champion. He lost to a champion.
Hold on, let me ask you this, D. Let me ask you this, D. Because you keep pulling that championship card. Okay.
Let me just ask you this one question. Was Timothy Bradley at least a B-level fighter?
I'll give Timothy a B-level fighter.
Okay, then he lost to a B-level fighter, and that's no big deal, bro.
Okay,
that's why I'm saying Lamont Peterson was at least a B-level fighter, bro. I'm not going to give any chance.
So because you lose to a B-level fighter, that makes you a B-level fighter? Lamont is a C-level fighter.
That, bro, but he lost to Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia is a great fighter. He lost to Errol Spence. Errol Spence is a great fighter.
Well, is Danny Garcia really a great fighter? He's a good fighter. I don't know if he's a great fighter. Timothy's a B-level fighter. Lamont's a C-level fighter.
Well, that's our argument about Danny Garcia, bro. He just missed the chip, okay?
Okay, how about this? How about this?
But I'm not going to fuss with Danny Garcia.
Hold on.
Let's move to Kell Brook.
Hold on, before we get to Kell Brook, hold on. She Knows Her Sport is begging to get on the line. So before I get on the line, I just want to ask everybody in the chat. If you're on the chat, put in your letters, what level of fighter is Lamont Peterson? A C-level fighter, a B-level fighter, or A-level fighter?
He's at least a B-level fighter, bro.
I say he's a C.
Okay. Well, I say B, but let's move to Kell Brook. But let's let he knows and Let's let him in, because I know he got something to say to me because what I said about Mikey.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
All right.
All right, are you still there?
That's who should be debating this guy.
Okay, are you guys both on?
I'm on. That I should be debating you. D, step aside, man, because you're losing right now. Let the grown men debate. Let the grown men debate. I'm gonna show you how you Ethan and murk this cat. I got too many trump cards. You focusing on Spence's resume. You don't do that. Spence is a boogeyman. His resume is not going to win.
Hold on 1 second.
In his fight, that's how you win this debate. But I'm gonna show you how it's done.
Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I just want to make sure everybody's on the conference call, right? So he knows his sport. He knows his sport, aka Peter Quillen's on the conference call with D. Jefferson. Do you guys have anything to say to each other? Peter Quillen, do you have any response to what D. Jefferson said about you and your prediction? And then D, do you have any response to Peter Quillen when he said, you're losing the debate, he don't agree with you? What you can go first, Peter.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna lie, IBFP. He is losing the debate. I'm gonna tell you why. Because he's falling into your one-trick pony, your one-sided argument. Did I not tell you that? You are the master of giving one-sided arguments. You have baited this dude into talking about Spence's resume. I like D, but come on, D. You don't fall for that nonsense. You're supposed to be a real kid out here in the street. You got blinders over your eyes. I told you. You got to lift the blinders. This is how you do it. You focus on the 73 power punches that a Sergey Lipinets landed on Mikey Garcia. And then you understand how Errol Spence, who is a body snatcher, is going to do 3 or 4 times that output. You talk about Salido landing awkward shots. This is a flaming alcoholic that was landing awkward shots at a prime Mikey Garcia. You talk about that. And you also mentioned how Adrian Broner, in the second half of this fight, was having marginal success as a body. We're talking about Errol Spence being the body snatcher 2.0. Errol Spence will levy that onslaught on Mikey Garcia. See, Mikey Garcia is about to go into deep waters. And when he takes his ass into those deep waters, we're going to know if his ass can swim. I know his ass is going to drown because Errol Spence is going to suffocate his ass with that unlimited pressure of the tactical aggression, technical punching placement, and body snatching work punishment style. This is how you keep the foot on the neck of guys like IBFP. That's how I'm always able to keep and murk him because I focus on Mikey's deficiencies. Look at Stephen A. Smith yesterday. I'm about to throw a trump card, and I want to see how IBFP, like Mikey Garcia, is going through triple buck dance and triple back dance at the highest level. Stephen A. Smith was interviewing Mikey Garcia, and I know IBFP or whatever the part his name is saw that interview, and Mikey Garcia contradicted himself. What did he say? What did he say? I'm going to tell you right now. Let's rewind and go back to the tail of the tape. Mikey Garcia sat here and said that Terrence Crawford would lose to Errol Spence. Terrence Crawford is a superior boxer than you. So if Terrence Crawford would lose to Errol Spence, what the fuck does that make you? And his argument was Terrence Crawford would lose because Terrence Crawford is coming up. Last time I checked, Terrence Crawford has been at 147 for a little minute now. He's proven himself by dispatching the likes of a Jeff Horn. Your ass is coming from 135. I know people want to make the argument and say that Mikey Garcia fought at 140. Bullshit. His last fight was what? 135 against Robert Easter. That's why I say 2 weight classes. I go by that last fight. I go by the very last tell of the tape. Your ass is 135 and you're coming up 2 weight classes. So if your argument is Terrence Crawford, which Stephen A. Smith does what I do, he likes to suffocate your ass. And I like the way he did that. He was like, but you just contradicted yourself. If you sat here and said that Terrence Crawford is going to win the fight, is going to lose the fight because he's coming up, well, what does that say about you? And his argument was Spence's size and his power is too much. So Spence's size and power is too much for Terrence Crawford. What the fuck is it going to do to you?
Okay.
Ethan and Merck. And I know IBFP or whatever the fuck his name is can't counter that.
Okay.
Because your boy got stuck. His ass got stuck.
Okay. Let me go ahead and counter this. And let me. It's time for me to expose Peter Quillen, everybody. So everybody say goodbye to Peter Quillen because he's finna get exposed. So let's go ahead and get him. And I got him, D. Don't worry about him. I'm not gonna let him disrespect you like that, D.
I'm just sitting back listening, so you guys go ahead.
Okay.
I'm going to get my piece in, but go ahead.
Okay, well, just to let you know, Peter Quillen, the A side is here. And so now you always say that you keep the foot on the neck, but how can you keep a foot on the neck when it's always in your mouth? And this is why. Because you start off talking about an interview with Stephen A. Smith and Mikey Garcia. First of all, anybody who knows and understands boxing knows that Stephen A. Smith does not know boxing. He's a casual fan, similar to yourself. And the reason why he's a casual fan is because he was brought into boxing. He knows nothing about boxing. He's a casual fan who's introduced to boxing. So let's just break that down. Secondly, Mikey Garcia's opinion of Terrence Crawford has nothing to do with Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence Jr.'s fight, period. Nothing to do. See, unlike you, I'm not a fanboy for Mikey Garcia. I simply believe Mikey Garcia will beat Errol Spence Jr. That's my thought. I think that, Terrence Crawford would beat Errol Spence Jr. I think Mikey Garcia would beat Errol Spence Jr. But you, on the other hand, are a fanboy of Errol Spence Jr. So what you do is you turn around and try to make everything else about Mikey versus Spence thing. At the end of the day, what you're saying is you'd pick Spence over anybody. You would pick Spence over Canelo. And you said you'd do that. So the fact that you said you'd pick Spence over Terrence Crawford, you said you'd pick him over Mikey Garcia, and you'd pick him over Canelo Alvarez, even though he'd have to move up in weight, makes no sense. This shows me how you don't know boxing, because Errol Spence Jr., he doesn't have the skill set to move up. He does not move his head enough. He would get stopped within the first 6 rounds. And anyone that knows boxing knows that. There's no one at 100 and no top guy at 160 Errol Spence can beat. He can't beat Danny Jacobs. He can't beat Canelo Alvarez. He can't beat Demetrius Andre. All 3 of those guys are too versatile, too skilled. Triple G would stop him easy. Triple G hits too hard, too strong. He would stop him. He had trouble dealing with Kell Brooks' pressure. He can't do anything with anyone at 160. His best bet of winning a title in another division is against Jared, I don't move my head, Swift Hurd. That's his best chance. And even Jared Hurd would be a hard fight for Errol Spence, because he's not going to be a weight bully against another guy who's another weight bully. So let's be honest and unbiased. You can go ahead and go.
Fanboy. If that's your new name now, Ultra Fanboy.
Hold on. Let D. Jefferson jump in on this real quick, brother.
No. I got to counter.
Go ahead, counter. And then I'm going to come in next. Go ahead and counter that, and I'm coming in next.
All right, Ultra Fanboy, because that's what his new nickname is, because I eat it and murked him yesterday when I said that. First of all, IBFP or whatever the fuck his name is told y'all. Y'all need to go back and look at the rewinding of the tape. This cat had the gall to say that Mikey Garcia could go all the way up to 154 and fight Tony Harrison. Now, if that's not Ultra Fanboyism, I don't know what fanboyism at the highest levels is. This came out of this man's mouth. Then he also turned around and said that Canelo Alvarez, Cinnamon Alvarez, can beat Andre Ward. Come on, man. You want to sit here and come after me? You see, that's the thing. He don't know how to counter. See, I'm a counterer. I'm an unlimited counterer. I know how to counter everything. You see how you came after me with the Spence stuff? I'm going to come after you with the Mikey Garcia stuff. You are a fanboy of Mikey Garcia. Because if you think Mikey Garcia, first of all, his ass never fought at 147. If you think he can go to 154, mind you, he never fought at 147 and beat Tony Harrison. Come on, man. That's nonsense. Then you turn around and say that Canelo Alvarez can beat Andre Ward. Andre Ward lives in it. He's like fucking Bane. He's been molded by it at 168, dude. 168, he's the greatest 168-pounder next to Roy Jones Jr., Ethan, and Merck. Canelo Alvarez barely missed 168. Fighting a tomato can, like you say, I call him pedestrian of Rocky Fielding. What the fuck you think Andre Ward would do to a motherfucker like that? Andre Ward don't even need tune-ups to beat a motherfucker like that. You give Andre Ward 3 tune-up fights, and Andre Ward has his timing and conditioning, because I believe when a guy is shelled for a period of time, like Andre Ward was, you have to get your timing and conditioning back. I don't care how great of a boxer you are. But you give Andre Ward 3 tune-up fights, he'll take his ass in there with Canelo, he'll take that motherfucker to school. He'll do exactly what Floyd Mayweather did, but it'll be worse, because now it's a bigger guy. Canelo can't do nothing. There is nothing in a square circle that Canelo can do better than an Andre Ward. And anybody, including your Plum and Rudy Poo brain, thinks that Canelo is better than Andre Ward in any facet of boxing, then you now will expose yourself as the true ultra fanboys that you are. Remember, everyone holds Andre Ward in that special regard as a special boxer. He's proving himself. Canelo is not in that category because Canelo Alvarez has not put in the work that Andre Ward had. If you take that Canelo Alvarez, this Canelo Alvarez, and you put his ass at that time of that Super Six that Andre Ward had when he fought the Sakio Beakers and all of those cats, and I'm talking about going back and forth. Andre Ward fought all of these cats back to forth. That's what I like about the Super Six, because the Super Six was back to forth, back to back. You put Canelo Alvarez in that situation, which we know Oscar De La Hoya likes to groom and pamper his freaking cash cow, because that's what he does best. Not have him fight back-to-back scenarios like that and fighting all those different competitions, his ass would have been fucking exposed, man. That's why you see Oscar De La Hoya and Bernard Hopkins constantly coming out, and they constantly trying to protect Canelo Alvarez. Canelo fought fucking Triple G too fucking late. Triple G was calling his ass out years ago. Abel Sanchez was calling his ass out years ago. Isn't Abel Sanchez one of y'all motherfuckers? He put Canelo Alvarez, he was G-checking Canelo Alvarez for years. Hey, why don't you fight Triple G? You know what happened? Once Triple G got exposed by Kell Brook, because that's the truth of the fact of the matter, Kell Brook went 8 rounds with him. Everybody was like, oh, shit. Do we see some leaky shit in this dude? We can expose his ass. We see Canelo Alvarez chomping at the bit, ready to fight. Ready to fight Triple G. And that's the truth. So don't come over here and try to come after me with Spence when you showing ultra fanboyism for Mikey Garcia and Canelo Alvarez. You got your face so caught up in these motherfuckers' ass, you can smell they shit.
All right.
Sit in murk, dog. Get out of here, man.
Okay, and
Out of here, man.
all right, now D Jefferson, hold on, D Jefferson. There's a few things I want to say. The first thing I want to say is before I give D the mic, Carleon Mello in the chat. I just want to tell you, everybody, and expose Carleon Mello. I gave him opportunity to join the call. He didn't want to do it because he was scared. So I'm pretty sure all you're going to hear is fanboyism and tough talk in the chat. So just to let you guys know that. Secondly, Peter Quillen clearly doesn't know anything about boxing. And the reason why Peter Quillen doesn't know anything about boxing is because Peter Quillen came out and stated that, he came out and stated that, Andre Ward is such a great fighter and he can't ever lose to Canelo Alvarez or anyone else. A lot of people thought Andre Ward lost the first fight to Sergey Kovalev. A lot of people believe that. That was a very close fight. And not only that, Andre Ward was fighting at 175 pounds. What happens if Andre Ward came out of retirement today and fought at 168? You saying Canelo Alvarez has no chance? You don't know boxing, because Canelo Alvarez is active. He's elite. He's in his prime. And I'm not saying it's a bit. Hold on.
I said 3 tune-ups. Say it right. 3 tune-ups.
If you're giving a guy 3 tune-ups, that's a whole year. So he need a year to bounce back before he step in the ring with Canelo Alvarez. Then he ain't ready. Ethered and murked. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to D Jefferson. And D, let's get your points in on all this. Let you weigh in and speak to this guy, to me, to everybody. Go ahead and speak to yourself.
Well, I'm going to speak on first this whole Canelo thing, because I actually support Canelo, but I don't even agree with he knows on the amount of tune-ups that Andre Ward needs. To be perfectly honest, I think that Andre Ward would take 1 tune-up and take the fight with Canelo and beat him. Just that simple. And I'm going to tell you like this. This is what I'm going to say about this whole Andre Ward and Canelo situation. Right now, you hear a clear argument about, Canelo, Mikey, Bud Crawford, whatever, being number 1. Canelo wasn't in the discussion when Andre Ward was around. No one was even thinking that Canelo was number 1 pound for pound. It wasn't even a discussion. It wasn't even an argument. It wasn't even a factor. And Andre Ward has proven he can overcome. Andre Ward has proven he can think in the ring. Andre proven he has the highest IQ out of the 2 guys. Andre Ward will beat the shit out of Canelo, bro. This is not even, I don't think he needs 2 or 3 tune-up fights. You see? So I don't really want to dig too much on the Ward and Canelo thing, because it's sort of like 2 against 1, because I think that you're totally outlandish with that. And I actually support Canelo, But now let me get on. Now hold on.
Yourself as a fanboy.
Okay, now hold on for a second before I. Okay, but hold on, because I'm not saying this, because now I got to come at you. And I gotta come at you. Listen, man. This whole walkthrough on Mikey, you know, I like the 5th round TKO, stop his bookie. I like to say, and sometimes I say it behind you myself. That's a cute saying, but that's not accurate, and that's not at all going to happen. You know, that's not accurate, and it's not at all going to happen.
Thank you, D.
You understand what I'm saying? If Spence stops Mikey, if he stops him, it's going to be late. It's going to be late. It's going to be 10th round or later. Okay? I'm going to tell you something. He knows this coming from me. You need to do more film study because I don't even speak before I do film study. And I'm going to tell you this right now. You talk about how Spence parry punches off his gloves. Well, you need to watch Mikey because he parries a whole lot better than Spence.
Ether than
Trust
Merck.
and believe it.
Okay.
Ether than
You need
Merck.
to watch Mikey because he parries a whole lot better than Spence. Oh. Let me finish now. I didn't say a word. I did not say a word when you guys were talking. Let me finish. Okay. Now, he knows you got to remember, in the beginning, you and I had this debate about this whole walkthrough and, you know, beating Mikey and all of that. I never shied away from you. We just agreed to disagree. But Mikey is an elite boxer, bro. And Spence is not an elite boxer. I have to agree with Nuke on that. Okay? And because of that fact, that's where my 30% comes across. I don't give a damn. This is boxing, bro. Anybody can catch that ticket on the chin. Do I think that Mikey will hurt Spence or drop Spence? No, I do not. But I do know anybody can catch that ticket on the chin, and I do know Mikey hit hard enough to you know, give Spence that ticket on the chin. And if he catches him clean on that chin, it's going to change the whole dynamic of that fight. Spence is going to fight in a whole different manner. And that's the 30% that I'm talking about. Because in the 12-round decision, you're damn right Mikey can win that fight. But I don't think Spence 70-30, but you're damn right Mikey has a chance. And that's why I'm coming at you.
Okay, step up, Peter Quillen.
So now, let me interject. Because I got to interject real quick. First of all, everything that D just said, he's about to get straight up Ether and Merc on. And you know,
bring it on
right now.
Bring it on.
Your real G out here in these boxing streets, that card has officially been revoked and pulled. Okay?
Okay,
now,
bring it on.
Foremost, on to the tape. Here's the thing. Mikey Garcia's back foot game, and I've said this before, is atrocious. It's like a Keith Thurman. If you go and you look at the Salido fight, you look at the Sergey Lipinets fight, the reason why this man had issues in those fights is because when Mikey Garcia goes on the back foot, instead of like a Floyd Mayweather or Andre Ward that knows how to slip the punches and know how to make the guys miss, Mikey Garcia, like Keith Thurman, runs into the line of fire. So every time he runs into the line of fire, he gets hit. When you're fighting against a guy like Errol Spence that's technically sound, fundamentally sound, that can see that bullshit a mile away, he's going to break through that leaky fucking defense. So that's how you've been Ethan and Merc on that. If you go watch the tail of the tape, you know what I'm talking about. If you go watch the Salido fight, no, let me talk. If you go watch the Salido fight carefully, I'm talking about look at it with true boxing eye test and none of this ultra fanboyism bullshit, you'll see what the fuck I'm talking about. If you go and watch the Sergey Lipinets fight, to me is the best one. That's the one I point out. You know why? And you know why IBFP stays away from that fight and he can never counter that fight? Is because Mikey Garcia got exposed so fucking much in that fight, man. That fight right there is more than enough to say Errol Spence is going to. That's why I say 5th round TKO stoppage. Because I watched 73 fucking power punches landed. How the fuck do you land 73 power punches? And what people don't understand is Mikey Garcia at times, because Mikey Garcia don't like pressure. Remember, Robert Garcia mentioned this. This is his trainer, his brother. What did he say?
Okay.
What did he say? He said this man don't like close quarter contact.
Okay, now let D jump in.
Let me come right back at
Let
you.
D jump in. Let D jump in.
Hold on.
Come on, man. Let me come back at you.
When I'm ethering out, when I'm ethering and merking, I'm taking you to school. So what you supposed to do?
No, you moving on. But let me come back on this.
Hold on, let D respond. Peter Quillen. Peter.
When I'm done, you can come in. When I'm done, you can come in because I'm almost done. When I'm giving a lesson,
all right, well, come on, continue, man.
Well, go ahead and finish quick like you always do, Peter.
Yeah, but I'm about to finish. You keep interrupting. You ain't let me finish. Here's the thing. The problem with people is they overrate fucking Mikey Garcia. He's like a fucking Triple G. There's no fucking special effects up and down with this motherfucker. Everyone want to act like he's the god of boxing skills. Last time I checked, they try to put this motherfucker like he's the second coming of Floyd Money Mayweather. This ain't Floyd Mayweather that Errol Spence is fighting, you dodo head. Wake up and smell the coffee. This is a 135-pounder guy who's possibly going to be, like Robert Garcia said to his testament, 150, maybe 151 pounds fight night. His ass is getting fucked. Errol Spence is going to weigh 20 pounds over him fight night. He already admitted that by his own acknowledgement. So once he throws his punches, which he's supposed to be like when IBFP said he's fighting middleweight guys, once he throws his punches, Errol Spence is going to eat that shit up because Errol Spence is absorbed to light, heavy, and heavyweight punches. So that middleweight bullshit that he's throwing, he's going to realize, just like Lamar Peterson and everyone else, when they threw the punch at Errol Spence, that damn, this motherfucker got a great night chin. He's eating this shit up like Pac-Man. And then you guys are going to see, once the face shows that, because you know that face that boxers do. Once that face shows that, oh shit, I'm fucked, we're going to see his ass get put in a corner, and we're going to see the levying onslaught of the tactical aggression.
All right.
Let D jump in real quick.
To the backflip stuff.
Okay, come on, D. Come on, D. Come on, D.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, come on, D.
Okay.
Come on, D.
Enough of your worthless rant that was about nothing, bro. It has nothing to do with what the hell I'm trying to do. Let me explain something to you, bro. That really sounds real good, and I like how you put all that together. That was a story that you told many times before. I need you to know that.
Thank you.
Let me explain to you something about this whole false belief about you talking about Mikey not being able to move off his back foot. You're not doing enough film study, bro. You're not doing enough film study at all. Okay, and not only that, this will prove the point right here and shut that dumb shit down about him not being able to move off of his back foot. If you go look at about 15 of his goddamn stoppages, people were throwing punches at him. He sidestepped that shit and knocked the fuck out of them. So you must not be paying attention, bro. What are you talking about? No. I'm talking about footwork here. I'm talking about footwork here. They were coming after him. Listen to me. Listen, but why are you talking? Why are you talking now? When someone is coming forward, when someone is coming off their back foot, coming forward. When someone is coming forward, right? And you're fighting them, you're fighting off your back foot, right or wrong? Right or wrong?
Coming forward. When someone is coming forward, a normal fighter does that. Mikey Garcia doesn't do that.
Okay, listen, bro. Listen. You're moving. You're evading the question. You're evading the question. It's simple. You need to do film study. You need to do film study. Because what you're saying is highly inaccurate. It's highly inaccurate, bro. If you say that, and I accept that, then no.
Ether
If
and
you
Mark.
say that and we accept that, then of course we would be Ether and Mark. But the point is, that's highly inaccurate because Mikey has shown that he can move out of that bullshit that you're talking about. He's shown that. You're just not looking at it. Okay, so there's no Ether and Mark on that.
But come March 16, when Errol Spence does exactly what I say he does, what is both of y'all going to say?
Well, I'm going to tell you this. When come March 16, I will confess.
Here's my answer. What is both
I'm giving it to you. Hush. I'm giving it to you. Come March 16. I said this from the beginning on your show and on this show. I picked Errol Spence to win. I do not believe Errol Spence is going to run through Mikey Garcia.
You're not answering my question.
Okay, well, this what I'll say on March 16th. If he gets a 5-round TKO stoppage, I will say that he knows his sports is the man. He damn sure knows his sports, and nobody.
IBFP, I want to hear the second time. You said last week you're going to get my concession defeat video. I want everybody to hear it.
Okay. Hold on. And so if Errol Spence stops Mikey Garcia, we made a bet that and he stops Mikey Garcia in 5 rounds, I'll come on here and I'll say, you know what? He knows the sport, really got it. And Mikey Garcia, He's not better than Spence. I would give the concession defeat if it's 5-round stoppage. I will give that. But if it goes,
I don't want to hear that fanboy nonsense no more.
hold on. But if it goes, hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second, fellas. So if it goes past 5 rounds, he knows this sports will get on his live stream and mine and slap himself. That's what we're looking forward to, guys, because that's what we know is going to happen.
I'll admit, whatever I need.
Okay, listen. I will confess to you, and Nuke, you can give me whatever, but I need y'all two to do some things too here, buddy. Especially you, he knows, because you and I, we see eye to eye on a lot of things. But this whole 5th round TKO stoppage, that's foolery. That's foolishness, bro. Like you say, that's foolery. Okay, so not if, but when Mikey goes past 5 rounds, okay? Not if, but when Mikey goes past 5 rounds, I want you to just praise me as much as you can on your channel. You understand? I want every one of your fans to know that D. Jefferson is the only man that can tell me what I need to know about boxing. That's a statement I want you to make. You understand? Because I'm telling you, that's foolishness.
But I'm foolishness. I'm going by the tell of the tape. We saw three recent dare to be stupid at the highest level situations. I feel you. And Cal Brooks.
Hey, bro.
We saw that same bullshit with Juan and Canelo, and we saw the same bullshit with Loma and Guillermo.
I want you to make a whole video. I want you to make a whole video.
Stoppages.
I don't care. We talk about Mikey Garcia. Okay?
Mikey Garcia is lumped in the code. He's in that same dare to be.
He is not. Okay, well, if it doesn't happen, then you'll give me my video, right? If it don't happen, you give me my video, right? I want you to dedicate a video to D. Jefferson. Dedicate it to D. Jefferson. And Nuke.
I don't have a problem doing that, but what you preach, and this is where the argument is losing its context. It's losing its context because you guys fail to realize, and this is fact. This is why IBFP can never argue this. Mikey Garcia never fought at 147. So we don't even
understand that, bro.
Translate at that weight class. That's fact, man.
I believe that it will.
And living in 147, dude.
I believe that.
I don't come with bullshit.
Okay.
And this is what I'm coming with too. You have to believe that it will translate enough for that man to do something in that fight.
Okay. Hold on, guys. Let me jump into this debate. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Hold on. Let me jump into this debate real quick, guys. Now, the first thing that he knows this sport said was that, Mikey Garcia has never fought at 147 pounds. That's factually accurate, but that's intellectually dishonest. And this is why I tell you that. It's because, yes, he has not fought at 147 pounds, but the fact that he's saying that is implying that Mikey can't fight at 147 pounds. The fact that he's saying that is implying that Mikey Garcia can't show up at 147 pounds and do anything significant. And that's why he says, when I asked him, he told me that Mikey Garcia has no chance to beat Errol Spence Jr. That's fanboyism at its highest degree. Because even Errol Spence Jr., you're the biggest groupie of Errol Spence Jr., and he's already stated that everybody has a chance. It's boxing. I think it's a close fight. Me and D may disagree on how the fight will go and who will win, but we do show enough respect to the boxers that we understand that it's going to be a competitive fight. At least
Mikey has a chance to win this fight, bro. Fuck that.
Well, IBFP, how you say what I said was factual, but then you turn around and say intellectually dishonest?
Well, I didn't already explain it to you, but you have poor comprehension skills, brother. So let me just run it back through you again. What you're implying is that Mikey, hold on 1 second, brother.
You know why I like that? Because it's bullshit, man. It sounds like bullshit to me.
Hold on real quick. Hold on real quick. He knows the sport. I got a subscriber here.
You gotta let that man talk.
Hold on 1 second, he knows. Hold on. Luis Garcia comes out and says he knows his sport should be R. Kelly's lawyer because you can try to defend anything, brother. And this is what I'm saying. At the end of the day,
I know. I'm the master. I'm the master of debates because I counter everything. Anything you throw at me, because I'm like Jay-Z. Everything comes from the dome. I don't need to write material down like you to prep my stuff.
Okay,
if you say something, I'm already seven steps ahead of you because I already got a counter in my brain ready to.
Okay, now let me respond. See, this is how you lose debates, he knows, because this is why.
Of the one-sided argument. But see, guys like me that have two-sided arguments, all I have to do is present the other side, and you're Ethan and Merck each and every single time. Because that's what you do. You run with one thing, and you beat it until you try to beat the drum off of the head of it. And I'm not falling for that. See, that's on in the earlier debate. That's why he fell for your trap when you was talking.
No, I didn't fall. You know, that's something I didn't even respond to. That's something I didn't even respond to.
Spencer's resume is a product of him being the bookman of the welterweight division. Nobody want to fight his ass. That's how you keep him Merck that. You don't even fall into that trap. The fact that you fell into that trap.
I mean, he knows. You counter. I will agree, and you countered me. But bro, I countered you, and you just evaded it. You just evaded the whole conversation. That's what happened. So you did counter me, and as soon as I came back to you, you redirected. So that's a tactic in itself. I seen what you did there too. So you attempted to counter me with that nonsense backfoot stuff, and then when I recountered you and knocked you out, you redirected. You understand what I'm saying? No, you redirected, bro.
You know what you guys are doing? You're knocking yourselves out, and I'm sitting here and I'm looking like Errol Spence and Floyd Mayweather at the end of the fight. I'm looking like I ain't even been great.
Hold on. Now it's my turn. Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. I gotta interject here. Now, this is a point that you made earlier that I've been wanting to address. Now, I said that Mikey Garcia, highest weight he should ever fight at is 147 pounds. I don't think he should ever move up from 147. I think this is his max weight. But if he ever were to move up and he ever had an opportunity to win any belt at any division higher than 147, the only fight that would make sense for him would be a Tony Harrison. I think that's the only fight that he has a legitimate chance of beating a much bigger man that's even outside of 147 pounds. So at the end of the day,
why did you even bring that up?
Hold on. Let me finish. Hold on. Let me finish. Shout out to Bruce fucking Vane. PBC should be crucified, not praised. Shout out to you, brother. I got to show you much respect and love. But back to what I'm saying. Hold on. Back to what I'm saying. The only thing that I got to say is, can Mikey Garcia beat Tony Harrison at 154? I think it's possible. Now you said, hold on.
I think Tony Harrison.
Hold on. And he knows the sport said it's not possible. If you think Mikey has a chance, I'm not saying that he definitely will, because I think he can beat him, but I know a lot of people might not. If you think he has a chance, put a yes or no in the chat. Let me know right now if you think that Mikey can beat Tony Harrison at 154. Put a yes or no. Just be honest. Hold on. We're gonna let the people answer.
Stay in your lane and stay in your place. That's why there's weight classes for a reason. You can't just go all the way up to 154 and fight the best guy. You can't go.
Tony Harrison is the best guy at 154. Tony Harrison is the best guy at 154. You don't know your sport. You don't know your sport.
Right now, hold on. Right now, him and Jared Hurd are the two best guys.
You're crazy. Landy Lotta would put a clinic on Tony Harrison.
Okay,
Stop it.
Hold on for a second.
Stop
Let
it.
me step in.
Stop it.
Let me step in.
Let D get on the call.
Let me step in on this. He knows. I'm no fanboy, and I'm gonna tell you right now, no way. Jared Hurd and Jaime Munguia are the best two at 154. Jaime Munguia will beat the hell out of Tony Harrison.
Jaime Munguia will stop Tony Harrison.
Jaime Munguia will beat the hell out of Tony Harrison, bro.
He's always talking about tomato cans. That motherfucker's been fighting nothing but tomato cans from Mexico.
Bro, I don't hit it through. Listen, Jaime Munguia will beat the hell out of Tony Harrison. Jaime Munguia will beat the hell out of Tony Harrison. Are you kidding me? You don't think
when he fights real competition, talk about him. Until then, I don't.
Wait a minute. You mean to tell me that you think Tony Harrison can beat Jaime Munguia?
Okay, hold on, guys. Let's go back to the people. If you think Munguia, hold on 1 second. If you think Munguia beats Harrison, put it in the chat and put Munguia or Harrison and who you picking to win the fight.
I need you to answer that question, bro. Because your card get ready to be revoked. I'm getting ready to snatch your card. I'm getting ready to snatch your card if you tell me Tony Harrison bum ass to beat Jaime Munguia.
You guys sit here and say Errol Spence fights tomato cans, but when I mention Mugia's been fighting tomato cans, where's the in that? That's Errol Spence fights tomato cans.
No, there you go again. You're inaccurate. You're inaccurate because I've never said that. No. I have never said that. I have never said that.
Okay, hold on, guys. We got one more topic to discuss. Hold on, guys. We got one last topic to discuss, and this topic is about the biased LDBC movement, all that biased LDBC garbage. And so let's just go ahead and address that because you made a video that sound like you were on your knees begging these guys for a membership. I'm gonna let D Jefferson go first. Then he knows you can respond, and I'll jump in. Go ahead and D. Go get him, D.
Okay. I'm going to say this about the whole LDBC, and actually, this is actually, I would say, toward both of you guys, okay? Listen, I've said this so many times in my posts, the comments that I posted on both of you guys' channel. First and foremost, bro, I got Hispanic and Black in my blood. You understand? I don't agree with any of this race bait and BS that goes on any of these channels. I'm not down with it. I don't support it or anything. Okay? I heard what you said he knows about, them supporting black fighters. And one thing that I am with is supporting your culture, your nationality, your ethnic religion or whatever. I'm with that. But you need to support it in an ethical way. Okay, you need to have morals when you support it, because when you support or pull or call yourself bringing up the black people, but you're doing some shady, low down, dirty shit in the process, then I don't want that kind of support for me at all.
Okay,
you understand? That's why I don't support the LDBC.
Okay, he knows jump in on this, D.
Okay,
go ahead.
Appreciate it. Now, let me clarify something. First and foremost, IBFP. You ran the narrative trying to say that I'm lumped in the cold with them. No, I'm not. First of all, I go by my own drum. Anybody that can see that I'm a natural born leader. I go by my own whim. I don't need to be following nobody. I've never been in any fraternities, never been in any masonries. I've never been in any part of anything. I'm a lone rebel.
It sounds like you were just a loser. Okay.
So, no, I'm going to just say that. Well, you can say whatever you want, but that's just the truth of the fact of the matter. I'm a lone rebel. I'm a lone cat. So I want to put that out there. Now, I don't agree with a lot of stuff. I want to put that out there. I don't agree with a lot of stuff that the LDBC say because I believe, like you, they have a one-trick pony situation where they're very biased in their one-sided arguments in a lot of ways. There's a lot of stuff that they say I don't agree with. But there's one thing that I do agree with. See, and this is and I shed light on that in the video. And if people take the time out to use the true boxing eye test and don't do fanboyism stuff, they can understand the full gravity or the magnitude of what I say. Because when I say stuff, they are deep and profound. Here's what I said. I said I like the fact that they support the black boxing community. Because see, what you guys need to understand is that boxing community is very divisive, and it has there's just a lot of deep-rooted, nasty history behind it. And it goes even further than boxing. Just the community itself. What I hats off to, I don't know if you're Mexican new, but if you are, hats off to the Mexican boxing community fan base.
Hold on. Hell no. Hold on. No, I got to step. No, hell no. I got to stop this. No, hold on.
Let me just say this real quick. Let me just say this real quick, and I'm almost done. I've given hats off to the Mexican boxing community fan base from this regard, and this regard only. You guys support your own. You guys go for that when it comes to your fighters. You guys go for that. Even if you're smelling all up in their asses and you're just allergic to the truth when it comes to a lot of shit, what you guys can appreciate, what I can appreciate with you guys is you guys support your own. We don't do that. And the fact that those guys are actually standing for that, that is the only thing that I agree with them on. And that's it. That's my take on it.
Okay.
And I'm not no LDBC.
Okay. Let me just dissect a few things. The first thing is you are LDBC. And you're LDBC under the cover because you're not being genuine and honest about that you're a part of the LDBC. I guess they must have denied your membership. And this is why. Because the first thing you do is you make a video and say, keep the LDBC name out your mouth. I didn't know they needed protecting by he knows his sport. So when they get exposed, I didn't know that you were going to put your cape on and go save them. But I guess that's the kind of guy. I guess you're LDBC Captain Save 'em, aren't you? The next thing I want to get into is when you discuss all these guys and all this stuff you're talking about, you say, you don't know if I'm Mexican, Hispanic, or Latino, whatever. At the end of the day, you're the one that's talking about, oh, they're going to beat the burritos and the churros out of these guys. I'm El Delusional and El Hypocrito. I hear all that stuff. And so you just exposed yourself. You exposed yourself. So, it doesn't matter what, because you've never heard me on any particular podcast. On any podcast, you've never heard me say anything racial about anybody. I don't even address race on my podcast as far as saying what ethnicity I am, because it's irrelevant, bro. We're here to talk boxing, but we're exposing the LDBC because this is what the people ask for. And when the people ask for it, they get it. And so you have to get exposed too, he knows, because you're a part of the LDBC, except for your application was denied. So maybe you got a fanboy for Spence just a little bit harder, because at the end of the day, I know, because at the end of the day, when you're talking about burritos and all this stuff, come on, bro, there's no place for that. And Wasi, you're being a hypocrite. Okay. Hold on. I just want to address somebody. Okay. Wasi said it's banter and character. IBFP don't get emotional about that. It's not about being emotional. It's hold on. Let me finish. Wasi, hold on. It's about being honest and unbiased, because Wasi is always quick to try to call someone out, but he needs to be called out because he's not being authentic. And if he was, he would be honest about this. At the end of the day, if I was saying these same things about anybody, he would say, oh, there's no place for that. Because this is the same Wasi. Hold on, let me finish. This is the same Wasi that came on here and said, Nuke, there's no place to call him Peter Quillen, but he can talk. But that's clearly banter. That's clearly playful, because he looks just like this guy. So for you to, you see what I'm saying? Wasi, you're a hypocrite.
Let me say this real quick. I'm gonna step in. I'm gonna step in.
Hold on, let D. Jefferson get in, and then he knows we'll go back to you.
Because it's important to say this. Let me just say this real quick.
Let he knows get it.
He knows. I got to get this mic, bro.
Let me just say this real quick. It's very important I say this. I'm gonna restate. I am not LDBC, but here's the thing. When did we become such a... See, there's a problem with this Rudy Poo and this Plum Brain PC.
See, now you can't go too long because...
No, let me say this real quick. Everybody's so fucking faint-hearted. See, Wasi gets the bigger picture. It's called banter. It's called comedy. Nobody's being race baiting here. If you guys can't take fucking jokes, then get out of the fucking kitchen, because it's a He Knows His Sport kitchen. I'm bringing that heat and that fire.
That heat and that garbage.
I'm a comical dude. So I'm gonna throw my little banter. It's not race.
Now let me say my 2 cents, bro. Let me say my 2 cents.
Close-minded, man.
You gotta pass that mic. You gotta learn how to pass that mic, man. Sometimes you gotta learn how to pass that mic. I was actually gonna speak on that. I was actually gonna. But see, that's why we got a three-way thing going here. So when it's my turn, you gotta let me have my turn, because I was actually about to speak on that. And you wouldn't even have to say that, okay? I was actually going to say what he knows. One thing that you left out about that, Nuke, because I'm on his channel as much as I'm on your channel every day. I get up in the morning, I exercise in the morning. He knows, much respect to you, because I'm chiseled like Spence too, bro. I exercise every morning. But back to the subject of the matter, I exercise every morning, and I listen to both of you guys, okay? And I'm on his channel as well. And one thing about it, he does do that. And it is definitely character, because one thing that you left out that he also does is when he does that, he also says, much respect to my Mexican community, I'm just joking and stuff. He makes it clear that it's not personal and it's not serious. He makes it clear that it's just jokes and it's a laugh and fun. So when you go the extra mile to make it clear that it's just, then that's comedy. Because how many comedians out there make racial jokes, but it's comedy and they get away with it, bro. Exactly. So it's not personal. Exactly. So I can't allow that attack. Now, here's another thing. I have to say. No, don't be hypocritical. Because see, I've been coming at you a whole lot about this double standard and hypocritical nonsense. There have been plenty of times where your own fans on your own channel says ridiculously racist and biased stuff, and you like and love those comments. Just because they agree with you, you like it. And when you tolerate it, then you're saying that that's welcome on your station. So let's not be double standard here, because you should not tolerate that stuff. You should tell them, look, we don't accept that. The same way you're telling He Knows here, you should tell Jason C. and all of these other guys that have done that to me. I have received money when you like it. When you like it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. First of all,
don't tolerate that, bro. We can't be double standard here.
Okay. Well, first of all, hold on. First of all, let me just go through some things and expose both of you guys. First of all, let's expose He Knows. Now, yeah, you say these things and you say, "Oh, just joking" at the end. If that's what you do, in fact, say. I mean, from what the clips I was sent, I didn't hear that. All I heard was you bashing these guys, and you're clearly fanboying for Errol Spence Jr. So much so to the fact that you're elevating him above Canelo Alvarez when we don't even know if he can beat Mikey Garcia. The next thing is, hold on, let me just finish. Hold on. Just let me keep going. Now, D. Jefferson, to your point, I can like any comment I so desire, because at the end of the day, these subscribers are here, and if they're here to talk boxing. So if someone is making a crazy, irrational statement that's very racist, I will not condone that, but I won't endorse it, because how many times have you ever heard me say anything racial? Never. How many times have you ever heard me do anything like that? Never. So hold on. So hold on. So if somebody, hold on, let me finish, D. So if me, you, and someone else is in the middle of a debate and they G-check you, and I like their comment because they got you on a point, it is what it is. That's the truth about it. So at the end of the day, I'm unbiased when it comes to all fighters, because in my top 10, I have all fighters.
When you endorse that and tolerate that kind of
nonsense, I don't endorse it, because I don't come back and say that I agree with it. I don't say those things. That's an assumption that you're making, so you have to get that out of your.
But you're not saying that you don't. But no, you
I don't have to. I don't have to.
You're trying to play the little field because
I don't have to.
You saying
I don't have to.
No, you're not saying that you don't agree with it, but you're not saying that you do. It's neither of them. What you're doing, you're liking the comment. You're liking the whole comment.
Hold on, that's a lie.
You should call out the comment.
Hold on, and you're being. Hold on. Let me speak, D.
Let me chime in real quick.
Hold on. No. Let me just address D's point, because D is factually inaccurate. Okay. And this is why. It's because if a guy come out and states something and says, "Oh, great video, great commentary, great this and that," but they say something in direction to you, that has nothing to do with me. So if I like to comment, it's based on the information they provided to me. So if they say anything to you, I'm not your defender. So just like He Knows His Sport defended the LDBC, I don't put my cape on for D. Jefferson. I don't put a cape on for Peter Quillen. I don't do that. So I leave all that to the side. But at this point of the show, we're going. Hold on. At this point of the show, we got to get back to boxing. And hold on, and we're going. Hold on. We're going to get back to boxing, and we're going to summarize this up. I don't know if you guys want to speak on the Porter's Ugas fight tonight, or if you guys have any thoughts or comments before we wrap this up.
I got my take on it.
Okay, let's hear what He Knows says first about Porter Ugas.
Let me get my take on it. Let me get my take on it. Porter better stop worrying about Errol Spence, man, and focus on Ugas, because he might run into a Kell Brooks 2 situation. And that's what I saw. Him missing weight. Sean Porter ain't never missed no damn weight. That right there is telling me a lot of glaring tales on tape there. That he's not taking this fight as seriously as he should. He's looking ahead. You're not, first of all, you're Sean Constipated Porter. You're a reject Mike Tyson wannabe. When you go in there, you do your nice little herky-jerky, sideways, lateral movement bullshit, but when you get in there, you kind of wonder, should I fart out a right hook or throw a hook or should I just throw a jab? You don't know what you want to do. So you're not that good to be sitting there looking past your opponent. You need to be looking at Ugas, because Ugas is hungry, man. You got a good little amateur background, and I don't know, man. The way that I'm looking at it yesterday from the win, I smell an upset. That's just my take on it.
So Ugas wins, and is that your prediction, Ugas?
My prediction is, my heart says Sean Porter, but I'm smelling an upset.
So you're picking Ugas.
Yep, I'm picking Ugas.
Okay, and who do you got, D?
Okay. To be perfectly honest, bro, I have it a 50-50 fight. I gotta say that I agree with everything He Knows is saying. I actually felt that way too about Sean Porter. The fact that he missed weight and the champ, that's a little alarming, because that means that he's probably draining a little bit. And the fact that he's draining a little bit changes the odds for me. So I'm gonna pick I'm going to pick Sean Porter to win by split decision in 12 rounds. But, I wouldn't be at all surprised of Ugas upsetting him.
Okay. And everyone in the chat, if you got Ugas winning, put in Ugas. If you got Porter winning, put in Porter. I'm going to go through these comments, man. At the end of the day, I think that, Sean Porter should win this fight. He's a favorite for a reason. But Ugas is not somebody you can overlook. The fact that Sean Porter didn't come on weight, that really is troubling to me as well. I just don't see how he would do that.
Right.
I don't think that this was going to be an easy night for Sean Porter. I think Ugas is going to bring some real problems.
Not at all.
I think he's going to bring some real.
Yeah.
I think Porter will.
You guys saw that in Ugas' eyes, man. It's one thing when weigh-ins. I like weigh-ins because they're telling the tape. Ugas looks like, man, you just don't understand what I'm about.
He's hungry, bro. He's hungry, bro. He's hungry.
And
He's
then,
really hungry.
And then I have
when you got a hungry fighter like that and a fighter that's subpar conditioning, I don't know, man. That's going to be a long night for Porter.
But I think Porter. I think Porter, if he overwhelms Ugas early, he could get him. But at the same time, if Ugas fights smart, outboxes and works the body, he could make it a long night for Porter. So it could really go either way. I can't disagree with the 50-50 fight.
I like this. At least we go out on agreement. Pretty much on this fight.
I want to see what you guys think. But my personal opinion, I really don't think Kenny Porter is good for Sean Porter, man. I think Sean Porter needs to change trainers.
I agree.
He should have let him go a long time ago.
I agree. I think that Sean Porter needs to look into a new trainer.
Yeah,
somebody totally different.
And I think he needs to, and I think he needs to do what, because Timothy Bradley did that. Sean Porter has the potential, like a Timothy Bradley, to turn it around because he's one of those fighters that he can listen and he can develop some boxing fundamentals. So that's what he got. Because you saw that.
His dad is not good for him.
Hold on.
He switched. You remember when Timothy Bradley switched to Teddy Atlas? He was showing more fundamentals. That's what Sean Porter needs to do. He needs to get a trainer that's going to teach him some fundamentals. Man.
Okay, and guys, one last thing. Now, next week we're going to do a lot of boxing talk before the Spence Garcia fight. It's going to be a pre-fight talk, and one of the topics we're going to go over who's the best heavyweight in the heavyweight division. Everybody, put the name of the best heavyweight in the division in the chat. D, he knows his sports. Who do you have as the best heavyweight in the division right now? I got Anthony Joshua, who's just clearly the best. He got Fury. Who do you got? He knows.
I got Deontay Wilder.
What?
Oh, hell yeah. Let's do this next week. Fury, one Wilder, one AJ. Let's go.
Let's go. Because AJ's proven that he's the best.
IBFP, let me say this real quick. I actually respect Anthony Joshua. I like Anthony Joshua. But
me too. And I got respect for him.
Anthony Joshua is going to beat the life out of Big Titty Miller. That's what's about to happen. Let's just get that out of the way. And I feel that when Big Titty Miller talked about his mother, I had him beating him in 11, maybe 12 round TKO stoppage. But once he threw that mother jab, I was like, nah, it's going to be about 8 to 10. Because Anthony Joshua was pissed the hell off. And one thing I noticed about Anthony Joshua, he's one of them quiet storm kind of guys. He has that Errol Spence in him.
Let's get into this next week, man, because I got a lot to say to you about Wilder.
In the ring. He lets all this talk happen in the ring. And we have two proofs of that. The Dillian White fight, and we also have the Charles Martin fight for that.
Okay. Get off of AJ nuts, because I'm going to smash your boy Wilder.
My problem is this, though. My problem with Anthony Joshua is this. And this is why
hold on, man, because we know. Hold on. He knows.
Anthony Joshua is stiff, and he's robotic as fuck, and he's afraid of Deontay Wilder's other.
Oh man.
Okay. First of all, that really proves you don't know your sport. That proves you don't know your sport. But next week we'll go ahead and do this. Everybody, remember to please share, like, and subscribe. D. Jefferson, thank you. He knows his sport. Stop being a hater. I'll see you guys next week.
I'll see you guys next week, man.
Before you guys go, when it's all said and done, man, this is all boxing, man. We all bros out here in these streets, so let's
much respect, bro.
Much respect.
It ain't about race. It ain't about none of that stuff. You guys gotta understand. With me, I'm a comedy dude, man.
Absolutely. Your whole channel is comedy. Absolutely. Your whole channel is comedy. All right. See you guys next week.
Whatever.
IBFP out.
All right.
Now, don't forget, everybody, to please share, like. You must absolutely subscribe. We'll be back with a post fight for the Ugas and Bivol fight and Porter. So we'll see. Thanks for everybody tuning in. Shout out to Easy Money, Ozzy Moon, Wasi. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate everybody. AJ, David Diaz, JC Boxing, Brandon Strong. Shout out everybody. Thanks for coming, bro. Randy C. And we'll have more call-ins available. Junior Australia, shout out to Oxnard, Jessica Cardenas, I see you. Slap Nuts, who would name themselves that? Don't forget, if you want to call in, if you want to call in and you want your voice heard, follow me on Twitter at IBFP Boxing and inbox me. I will send you the number. You can call in. We'll get this done. Shout out to Remy Lokes, Bay Area. But once again, if you want to call in next Saturday, make sure you follow me at IBFP Boxing on Twitter, inbox me, and we'll be ready. Wasi, I expect you to debate. Get on the line, brother. See you guys. Angela Upset Rivera, shout out. Brandon